Welcome to this week's Quick Charge. We continue the story of Naaman, who was a powerful army commander, but he was also sick with leprosy. You could say he had both victories and issues in his life at the same time. And of course, God wanted to deal with his issue because there can never be enough victories in my life to counterbalance an issue that works against my destiny. Because it only takes one issue to bring on utter defeat and downfall. And even though Naaman had traveled a great distance to see the prophet of the Lord, he almost missed his help in God. Why? Because he was married to his own way. He was used to having things and getting things his way. And he assumed God would heal him his way. But God never deals with our issues our way, because my way never resolves the issues of my life. So Naaman had to get down from his horse, accepting God's way. But he was also challenged to go wash himself off in the Jordan River. He had to get into the water, which was met with much protest, I might add. Now, we have to admit that the Jordan River was probably the dirtiest river that Naaman had ever seen. It was murky, muddy, and inferior in every way to any river that he was familiar with. But what's the real problem? Is this really about a river? Sometimes our greatest protest conceal the real problem. He says he has a problem with the river, but that's not the real problem. He didn't want to have to take off his armor, his victorious armor that was pretty much concealing his issue. If you saw him in his armor, you might not even know that he had an issue. After all, I am a victorious man of God. I'm a good husband. I'm a good father. I'm a good person. That's what the armor seemed to indicate, that he was fine, he was okay, that he had no issues at all. So what he wore on the outside was really saying it's all good. But the danger and the deception is that it can seem easier and more expedient to keep your armor on and act like that it's not there, that it's out of sight, out of mind, making that issue then a seeming non-issue. He certainly wasn't prepared to take his armor off out in the open and away from home. God required that he lay down his good clothes, his emblems of victory, his medals, his decorations, his triumphs, his exploits, his public persona, his own goodness, in order to gain the help of God. But he almost missed his help until one of his loyal servants sees something that he doesn't and wisely implores him to reconsider. Now that's just the mercy of God. So when he gets off of his horse and he lays down his armor and he gets into the water as God has instructed him, he encounters the power of God. In the end, he recognized that getting down from his horse and taking off his outward persona of victory was worth the effort to experience the amazing grace and help of God. The same is true for us. As long as I make an issue in my life a non-issue, it will never be resolved or remedied. Jesus waits for us to get into the river. Join me next week for another Quick Charge. God bless you.